and Communications up here, please. Okay, if you take a seat, make yourselves comfortable. Can you all start by introducing yourself? You've got 30 seconds, starting with Elena.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena. I'm a second year law student studying LLB law. I'm currently an active member of the Law Society. I'm on the Academic and Career Development Committee. You may have seen me around uni. I'm running for PR and Communications Officer. So yeah, enjoy the debate.
Hello and good afternoon. In case you don't know from the many posters around Little Titchfield, my name's Asha and I'm also running for Communications Manager. I'm in my first year, so it's pretty nerve-wracking to be running against two second-year competitors. I'm running for this position. I want to offer a fresh perspective. Hope you all enjoy the debates.
Hi, I'm Argjela and I'm also running for Communications Manager. I'm currently the editor of the Law Society, so I work hand in hand with Tahir, who's the current Communications Manager. I just want to build on what he's done, through communications obviously, and I hope you enjoy the debate.
Okay, we're going to start off with the question round. I've got a general question to all three of you actually, so if we start with Elena and then Asha and then Argjela, the question to you is, how do you propose to manage all the social network platforms, so Facebook, Twitter, Blackboard, and manage this effectively?
Okay, so one of the main roles of the society is to kind of communicate with members and externals and internals as well. One of the main parts of that is to communicate through social networks, so through Facebook, Twitter, any other social media platforms that we may have. So my role is, I generally want to just kind of communicate those events and opportunities to students, just by keeping them kind of well informed and well updated, kind of like on a constant basis, kind of like daily, if there's daily events, kind of also around uni as well, so not just through social networks, but by kind of coming to lectures, speaking in lectures, kind of letting people know what's going on around campus through advertisements and things like that. One of the things that I also want to introduce is like an Instagram page, which I think is going to be really fun for like people to interact with, like you can create hashtags and like share photos, and it's just kind of another kind of platform and medium to kind of share kind of thoughts and things that are going on in society really.
1 second, Elena. So you said that you would like to do daily updates. How will you balance daily updates with the stressful life of a third-year law student?
Well, I mean, I think it just comes hand in hand with the role. You need to be prepared. I'm running for this role because I think I can manage that. I think I can kind of provide daily updates on Twitter and Facebook. I've not got to sit down and write like a massive essay, because people just want it short and sweet. They don't want to kind of sit and read like a long kind of post. They just want to kind of see what's going on there, and then they don't want to be reading for ages.
Okay, thank you. Can you pass the mic?
Well, pretty much just reiterating on what Elena was saying, you know, just keeping it short and sweet, keeping everyone up to date, you know, little short Facebook statuses, and I don't know, Twitter, and, you know, keeping people up to date like that. But, you know, how are we going to manage this? I mean, it's all about time management. Time management has never been a problem for me. In fact, it's something that at all students, it's something that we continue to develop and, you know, improve on. And so, you know, I just want to, I'll just probably be taking that on in a very positive manner. And pretty much also having everyone informed, I'll be doing that not just through the internet, but also face to face, having a more personal touch.
Okay, can I ask you a question? You said you're good at time management and you've never had an issue with it before. Can you provide us with an example where you've had, you know, good time management and a successful result from this?
Okay, well, it'll have to be an example from the past. Like, for example, you okay, you man? Yeah, all right. All right. In sixth form, when I was in year 13, at that time, you know, A-levels is quite a tough time. You've got to revise, you've got to study, but also at the same time I had to kind of balance my personal life and attending like family events and attending like religious prayers and things like that. And, you know, you just have to try and find a balance. You know, you set aside time in the day. You say, okay, Saturday I'm going to do this in the afternoon, and then in the evening I can just chill. You know, I wouldn't say it's, obviously this position entails a lot of hard work, as well as all the other positions do. It's all about hard work and perseverance. The thing is, of course, persevere, do the best you can, but set aside some time for yourself so as that you don't overwork yourself. That's important. So, you just give yourself little amounts of time to break. Yeah.
Guys, on that point of time management, can you keep your answers short, please? Thank you.
Okay, well, anyone who knows me knows I'm constantly posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So I could probably stop annoying my friends and post from the Law Society social networks. And I would kind of use the social networks for what they're for. So Twitter and Instagram for live updates and kind of, like they said, short and sweet updates, whereas Facebook for kind of more lengthier posts or kind of earlier updates about events or any opportunities that are going. So I would kind of use the social networks for what they're for. And I also want to create a Law Society blog with posts from students so they can put that on their CV. So that obviously wouldn't give me much work to do. It would be up to you guys to kind of post there. Yeah.
Question for Arj. As we already have an editor position, which you are currently doing, who would be in charge of the Law Society blog? Wouldn't that go under their discretion?
Sure, but I think that obviously as communications manager, I would need to kind of set that in motion, because that would obviously come from me, as I'm kind of like the figurehead, or I would be the figurehead for communication. So obviously get that in motion and then allow the editors to do their job.
Thank you. Okay, the next question is for Elena. The next questions will be based on your manifestos rather than general questions. After unsuccessfully standing for the same position last year, what have you done to improve yourself?
Okay, so last year was kind of like a bit different for me. Like, I don't think I was as prepared or as aware of what was going on necessarily in the society. The society wasn't necessarily that active during my first year of university, so I didn't really know what the job entailed. I just kind of went for it, kind of gave it my best shot. It didn't really work out, but here got the job, and he did an incredible job this year. So, so in a way, I'm not necessarily that disappointed that I didn't get it, because the society benefited hugely from having to hear as communications manager. Having said that, this year what I've done differently is I've kind of taken a step-by-step approach, thinking what I would do differently to here. But essentially, I kind of want to sustain what the society has done already, because it's done such an incredible job, and I think that the most important thing would be to kind of maintain that, because not necessarily implement a whole kind of host of different changes and different things that would be going on, but to kind of maintain what he's done and what everyone else has done, to kind of ensure that that kind of continues once a new executive is elected.
Thank you. Can you pass the mic to Asha now? Your manifesto is quite vague. What are your actual aims for next year?
Well, it's pretty much simple. I mean, I'm just a first year student, but I want to bring along the perspective from the first year law students and what they have to say, because, I can understand from their perspective, if that makes sense. Give me a moment. Could you ask the question again, please?
Yeah, so what I said before was that your manifesto is very vague.
Yes.
We would like to know what your actual aims for next year are, concrete aims.
Concrete aims. Well, you know what? I just want to make sure that everyone has, if they have queries, I want to make sure that those queries are dealt with efficiently, quickly, short and sweet. People, they'll if they have query, not just to email it, but to also post things on Facebook as well. I want to get those dealt with. I want to improve the advertisements of what the Law Society will be doing. So, I mean, I know I've just mentioned this previously, but as well as posters and things, most people, you just walking past 5 posters. But, really, I really want to emphasize the personal touch and going more face to face and saying, I don't know, maybe just once, twice a week, go around the library, go around the cafeteria, something. So, hey everyone, we got this event coming on, come along and join. Because even though we are exposed to the internet every day, and we see these things, we'll be like, oh, okay, that's that. Let me see what's going on Vines or something, and we'll go check on some sort of thing like that. But I want to add a more personal touch.
Okay, so you want to add a more personal touch to the Law Society. Thank you. The next question is for Arj. You said in your manifesto you weren't happy with the current mailing system, correct me if I'm wrong. What are the issues with the current mailing system and how are you going to improve it?
So the current issues with the mailing system are that some people don't get emails from us. So I think that's to do with the previous Law Society and kind of, I think it was like a paper kind of issue, like they'd written down their emails on paper and then they'd all gotten confused or something. But I know that people don't get emails, and I've been told that myself, and I know that some people don't get the newsletter. So what I want to do is, like, over summer, make sure that everyone who is a member of the Law Society gets their email down, and we kind of like collate it into one big list and then make sure that everyone always gets updates from us, because I know that not all people use social media sites. Like, I know some people who despise social media, so pretty much everyone has an email. So if we're going to get in touch with people, it should like be via email first.
Okay, this is to you again, Argjela.
Sure.
Basically, well, this is a competition, and you've got two of your rivals sat next to you. What makes you stand out over the two people sat next to you?
I think it's my experience within the Law Society. I am the editor, so I don't really need to familiarise myself with the system. I can kind of just like hit the ground running from whenever the positions are kind of announced on Friday, and I can just kind of build on what Tahir has done, because I've seen all the hard work that he's done this year, because I have worked with him. So I can just make sure like the system's just fluid, like it just goes on to the next academic year, without kind of any kinks or bumps, or just, yeah, give it my all.
Okay, over to Asha. You said in your manifesto that you want to improve democratic legitimacy of the society. What do you mean by that?
Well, pretty much just make it more strong between all of us. Like, perhaps all of the members, like, maybe we don't all communicate with each other as we might. I mean, I want it to be so that we're all very close. We've got like this good professional connection between us, you know, and I want to, continue with that.
Okay, you said that you want to achieve that, but how do you think you're going to set about doing that?
Well, just keeping in close contact, having your close connections, pretty much, yeah.
So you said democratic legitimacy, which means voting. I don't think that has anything to do with your relationship with your peers. It's to do with how the elections are run. So I'm going to ask you the question again.
Okay.
You said that you want to improve democratic legitimacy. So you want to improve the elections, the voting, what you're doing now. How would you do that?
I'll have to say that's a very good question, Aisha. You're doing a great job at being the host. I'll give you amendments for that. Right. So to help improve the pretty much the Law Society, they're already doing a great job. I don't want to completely bring a whole different change to it. It's all about maintenance and improving and see what can be done better. So let's see. I don't know. Next time, I guess we could bring out a video and have something fun, to help publicise the Law Society, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that really answered my question, but we have to move on now. So.
Okay, can we pass the mic to Elena, please? I'm going to ask you a similar question. How do you think you're going to achieve your aims?
Then we can be more specific.
So, how are you going to go about what your manifesto sets out? How are you going to achieve it?
Okay, so one of the things I have on my manifesto is that I kind of want to create like monthly social events for the Law Society members, just because I think that whilst the Law Society has done an amazing job this year, that that side has maybe been a little bit lacking, just because I want to encourage more kind of student integration and student communication, not just between the executives and the students and the committee members and the students, but between students themselves. So monthly socials to encourage kind of interaction, kind of word of mouth, what's going on around the uni, what's going on in the societies. Just because I think that we could benefit from having a bit more kind of social events in the society, because whilst we're law students and we're signing up to a law society, events are kind of tend to be more geared towards law-related things, but I think that we could really benefit from having more social events. So social events to kind of improve communication in that sense. Another point that I could add to that is that I want to create like a platform for students to post events that they want to see take place in the society. So whether that be a Facebook page, like as simple as that, or like an event that people come to and they can suggest events, somewhere where students can contribute. Because whilst the society is great at kind of providing events and opportunities and all that great stuff, I think it would be good to have the students' input, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are signing up.
Can you give an example of a type of event? Because you said events, but what do you mean by event? What would take place?
Social or?
Social events.
So that could be anything. That could be like going out for a meal, it could be going bowling, it could be going for a drink. Obviously, different events to cater to different people's needs, because some people don't want to go out and drink because of religious reasons or other reasons. Some people might be able to work some people might work during the day and be free in the night. Might be, you know, it varies. So different events to kind of cater to different needs.
Sorry, I'm going to have to cut you short, Elena. We're going to open the questions up to the floor now. Has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask our PR and communications candidate? To hear? Yeah, just shout it out. Shout it out. And then I can repeat it if I can shout it. Yeah.
I can zoom in on your face if you want.
Oh God, don't do that. I don't think that would be possible.
Might make it look prettier.
This question is for all the candidates. What it is this year, being the communications manager for the Law Society, I can honestly say it's a massive workload. Obviously, to those second years, you guys know that the academic side of it is extremely demanding already, and even the first years will know that in order to achieve a consistent high grade, you are required to put in a lot of time in studying. So my question is, there are some weeks where I did no studying for the whole week and I was focusing solely on the Law Society accounts. How are each and every one of you going to balance your work life alongside your study life and showcase your dedication towards the society at the same time?
Thanks for your question, Sahir. I guess it is just about time management, like Asha said. If I do get elected, I want to work alongside the other executives kind of over summer to get everything planned as the executive did last year with all the events and everything. So it's all kind of in place and like there's a structure to it, so that I can kind of minimize my kind of commitment to the society throughout the year. Obviously, it does involve work during the academic year, so I would just kind of, I guess, just plan, kind of keep a diary of when I'm doing what, and just make sure I have time for everything, time to balance everything out, and use my reading week sufficiently, hopefully get everything done.
Just reiterating on what Argjela said, I think it's really important. Yeah, you have to plan ahead. Otherwise, you know, that's just a really important. So, yeah, to manage my time effectively, I would pre-plan. GIS week, yeah, we always want to like think of it as a half term, but no, I want to make full use of it and, you know, really bring something positive. I've never actually ran for something like this before. I ran as a student ambassador in my sixth form, and that was great. I did like responsibilities of promoting events. But this is something bigger. This is a bigger challenge, and I want to take that on. And like you said, it must have been stressful at times, and you just spent like a whole week not studying. And I guess it's natural to think that there's some sacrifice to be put in, and I'm willing to do that.
So yeah, just reiterating what the girl said, really, it's really all about kind of time management and planning ahead. Like, you can't really expect to execute something well if you're not prepared for it, if you're not preparing well for it. So I think it's all about time management, planning ahead, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty much about keeping an eye on your time and how you're managing it is the best way to go about that.
Okay, go for Imran first.
My question is, you all talk about social media, which is great, but the real hard graft of it is the marketing side, the posters and all that. Last year, me and Tahir both worked on the posters and stuff together. You guys haven't spoken about that, or how you're going to sort that out. So what are you actually going to do in regards to posters and marketing? Have you got any Photoshop plans?
Okay, so I consider myself quite an arty person. I studied like art for A-level and did it all through my GCSEs, and I really enjoyed it, really loved it. So yeah, I guess I could bring a creative side to that. I think it'd be fun to create posters. I do know how to work Photoshop. I do know how to create posters and things like that. And I just think marketing-wise, it's just important to kind of advertise what's going on social media. Again, I know you said not to mention that, but around the uni, marketing doesn't have to be always on social media. It can be like in person, in lectures, shout outs, things like that. So just kind of getting the word out, really.
Yeah, no, actually I'm also very arty. I did art at GCSE, and ever since I was a child I've always been dabbling with paints. So no, I love art, and I'm very creative, so when it comes to posters and things, that's no problem, I can do that. And also it would be pretty interesting to ask how fellow law students would like, you know, if they have an idea for a poster, then, you know, if they have like a suggestion, oh, maybe you should have this picture here or this and that here, have a little caption here, you know, I'm happy to take their suggestions and, you know, put that in. When it comes to Photoshop, yeah, not like, I'm pretty decent, but, you know, trying to be on
Okay,
the
can we
level.
pass it on to Argjela? We've just got to speed it up, sorry.
Right, I'll do that. There you go.
Thank you.
At the moment, I actually write the poster content for the posters, so on that side, I think I'm good. But with Photoshop, I actually studied like a whole course on Photoshop at GCSE. So I think I think I'm good on the Photoshop side, and yeah, I'd put in the hard work to go and put the posters around everywhere. I think we've all been doing that for our campaign, so if it's for the Law Society, then.
Okay guys, unfortunately we're running out of time, so we can't take more questions from the audience. But we would like you to grill each other now. So does anyone want to go first? Does anyone have a question for anyone that they're running against? I'm not going to make you put your hands up like kids, but just fire up the microphone and whoever wants to go first.
Okay, so like, I'm actually really interested in this. Like in your manifesto, you said, Argjela, you said that about work experience placements for students. I just wanted to know a bit more about that.
If anyone's been on the SU website, you'll see that there's a page on it that it's called Marketplace, and they advertise work experience on it. And I thought it was a brilliant idea, so I thought, why not bring that into the Law Society and create our own marketplace page where you can advertise legal and non-legal work experience to kind of increase your commercial awareness. I know all of you are kind of aware of how important it is in the current legal market, and just to increase your employability, I guess, because, you know, if you have it all on one page, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to apply for and kind of just what suits you.
Okay guys,
I think we should take it to the floor because I want to hear some questions from the audience.
Okay, has anybody got any more questions for our candidates? At the back? Can you shout or? Yeah, okay.
My question here, I don't know her name, the one is a bit...
Asha?
Asha, do you feel it's a disadvantage you being a first year student?
Okay, did you hear that? He said, do you feel it's a disadvantage that you're a first year student?
Yeah, first year student. And for the other 2 years, do you think that this position is that important? If we abolish that position right now, will it affect the law society in any way, shape, or form?
Okay, let's start with Asha.
Okay. Do I think it's a disadvantage running as a first-year law student? No, I do not. It's not a disadvantage to run for anything. You don't lose anything if you try. You never lose anything. So it's always, try your best and go for it. It's not a disadvantage at all. I'm gaining experience. Everyone else is having a great time. It's all about enjoying yourself. That's my opinion.
Okay, so I think your question was, if we abolish this position right now, would it make a difference? Hell yeah, it could make a difference. Just because I know the kind of work that Tahir's done this year, having been quite an active member of one of the committees, the academic committee in the society, I've worked quite closely alongside some of the executives, and so I know how much work they've put in. This position in particular is kind of like hidden from what a lot of people see. Like, a lot of people go to the events and they see, like, the president or the vice president and the other kind of members of the society, but they don't really see like the clogs of what goes on like behind the scenes. So this position is really important actually for kind of maintaining communication between both the executives and members, and kind of when you receive an email or receive a Facebook update, it's the communications manager. When you see posters around the university, it's the communications manager. So it is quite an important role.
At the end of the day, the Law Society is a student society, and kind of it's the communications manager's responsibility to be the middleman between students and the law school and the executive board. So without the communications manager, there wouldn't be any integration. It would just be the executive board, the law school, and then students, and students wouldn't have their say. So it would kind of defy the purpose of having a society in the first place. It is about integration, and it is about students getting the most out of their university life, I guess. So, yeah, that's why it's important.
Thank you very much. Any other questions at all? Okay.
Firstly, props to Asha, because I think as a first year running, you're doing really well under the pressure that you've got. I think my question to you guys is, you've talked a lot about social media and how you're going to use that to better advance the Law Society, but have you actually thought about things such as utilising Blackboard, seeing as we've got a Westminster Law Society tab on Blackboard? Have you thought about maybe putting up the display cabinets, maybe campaigning for those around the uni? Or, because I think it's very focused on social media, is there any other platform that you feel that you can use?
Okay, so one of my manifesto points is actually to kind of introduce a platform where students can kind of propose events that they want to see take place at the university. And one of the most, one of the best places I think that could take place is on Blackboard. I just think it'd be great to integrate that into Blackboard, and kind of when people are kind of logging on, printing off their lecture slides, kind of checking updates, checking results, they can check that, they can kind of go onto that tab or whatever it is, that group, and kind of propose events. So I think that could work. Yeah, and also I think just by advertising, I don't know if how much of a say students have on Blackboard necessarily, society-wise, but I think it would be great if we could push for like more society kind of based posts or updates and things like that on Blackboard.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, we get like a little notification pop up every single time there's a new lecture slide posted on for items, for example, like public law or something. So if we have something like that, like a little notification tab, a little red thing, you'll notice that, you'll click on it, and we can get something related to the Westminster Law Society. And also the discussion boards, yeah, we should definitely encourage and promote that. You know, to get more people to use that and to post queries and questions and anything else.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your question, Sadia. Anyone who's read my manifesto will see that one of my aims is to push for greater use of Blackboard, because as a student of this university, it's inevitable that you will use it, and I think it would be great if you could just have everything on one thing, so that being Blackboard. So, as Asha said, when you go to see your lecture slides or you go to use any of the study materials, you can just click on the Law Society Blackboard page and just find everything there, because you will use Blackboard at some point during your degree. So yeah, I think it's really important.
Thank you very much, Argjela. Any other questions at all? No? Is that everything? Okay, can you give our candidates a big round of applause?
Guys, we just want 30 seconds of you concluding, please. Thank you.
Okay, so I'd really love to be your communications manager, just because I think that I could bring a lot to society. I'm a secondary student, so if you've not seen me about, like, I'm pretty friendly, I think. So I don't know, I just think that I could bring quite a lot to society, kind of bring opportunities, like, through, like, I mean, I know we've mentioned social media a hell of a lot today, but through obviously social media, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like I said, I just think that we could bring a lot more to society.
Moving on.
Very quick. Okay. Just general. I want to bring more of a personal touch, make it more face to face, more personal. I want to have more visibility towards all those students in general. I want to encourage more students to join, because it's a great society, and just in general bring positive publicity.
Thank you very much.
I've loved my time as editor of the Law Society, so I kind of just want to be able to continue to help you guys and continue to be a part of it. So if you want someone with experience and someone who really wants to communicate to you everything that is out there, vote for me.
Okay, thanks guys for taking all of our horrible questions. Can you take a seat over there, and can we have the two people running for treasurer, please?